There's always been a group of people that like to talk bad about Tundras online. They say things like, it's an outdated dinosaur, it's had a 14-year production run and changed very little since the beginning. My question to all of them is that such a bad thing?
With all the problems that new trucks have been having lately, and the prices continuing to go up every day, I feel like it makes way more sense to buy a truck like this. And here's why. Now, this video is going to focus on the second generation Tundra from 2007 to 2021. More specifically, my experiences with owning this truck since new in 21. Now, the reason that I bought this truck is because I heard in 2022 they were dropping the V8 for a twin turbo V6 and an optional hybrid powertrain. I'm more old-fashioned. I prefer a V8. Plus, the price went up significantly for all the new features of the 2022 model.
When I look over the exterior of these trucks, I feel like their style is timeless. Mine has LED lights that are very nice, plus just the right amount of chrome. My truck is the double cab model. You give up a little bit of backseat legroom, but you get a much longer bed in return. My truck's four-wheel drive with the optional TRD package. It adds 18-inch wheels, a limited slip rear differential, special shocks, skid plates, a rear sway bar, and on a limited truck like mine, you get a leather-wrapped shifter. My truck has the 5.7-liter V8, which I feel is the best option if you're going to get one of these trucks. Other options, depending on the year, is the 4.6 and the 4.7 V8, along with a 4-liter V6. All the V8s are basically bulletproof motors, each with examples of going over 1 million miles. All of them had a 6-speed automatic transmission. Problems are basically unheard of in the transmission.
Now, speaking of outdated dinosaurs with a 14-year production run, it reminds me a lot of the 1973 to 1987 square body Chevy C10s, which retrospectively has become one of the most beloved truck body styles in recent history. One thing that I think is great about a long production run is they have plenty of time to work out all the problems that they ran into along the way, and basically have perfected the truck over time. Yes, it still has some issues, and I'm going to get to that next. So, what has gone wrong since I've had it? I've put a little over 40,000 miles on this truck since I've owned it, and they haven't exactly been the easiest miles either. I've driven it in the snow a lot. Plus, I've taken it in sand, dirt, mud, gravel, you name it, it's been there. Recently, I just got back from a trip from coast to coast. I live in Oregon, and I drove it all the way to Florida. And it was a comfortable, easy ride. No problems at all. But let's get to the problems that I have had with it. So, back in January of 2022, I received a letter in the mail, and it said that there was a recall for this truck. It only had 5,000 miles on it at that time. I didn't think a whole lot of it. I decided just to wait until the oil change was due and to take it to the dealer at that time. Well, that was my first mistake, because only a few weeks later, when I was driving it, the power steering completely failed. And this was just before I was getting ready to take it on a road trip. Obviously, I pulled over immediately and looked under it and saw a big pool of oil and figured out it was power steering fluid. From there, I did what anybody would do and stopped by the nearest parts store and grabbed a quart of power steering fluid. That lasted about 1 minute before the power steering went out again, so I immediately drove it to the dealership and parked it there. What happened was the power steering rack gear had some issue with the seal. I'm not sure what it was, but either way, Toyota did cover it under warranty, and they gave me a whole new rack and pinion and everything that goes with the power steering system. The next problem I had is with the factory tires. And these are what I replaced them with, the Toyo Open Country AT3s. The reason I replaced them is because I was constantly having problems with them getting flats. Now, I'm talking once every 2 months or so. This wasn't picking up stuff on the road like nails. I have a gravel driveway, and rocks were puncturing the tires. The factory tires are a 4-ply Michelin tire, and they are very smooth and quiet. They don't provide the best traction, but they're not a bad tire. I'm not talking bad about them if you're just driving on the road. But they don't get good traction in the snow. They get decent traction on wet pavement. But anything other than that, they're not very good. Also, I tow with this truck, and they were only a 4-ply tire, so I got quite a bit of body roll. Ever since putting the Toyos on, I have no complaints. They're a slightly louder tire, but it's a truck, so who really cares? I care about the traction and the handling, and not getting flats constantly.
Now that the problems have all been summed up, let's check out the interior of this truck. I really like the leather seats in here. Up front, they're large and comfortable. The center console is great, and there's 6 cup holders up front. The side supports of the seat have a great contrast. I like the styling of it. Overhead, there's storage for sunglasses and business cards. The gauges are clear and easy to read. The center screen has selectable information tabs. Over here you have controls for the mirrors, the cargo light, auto brights, rear sliding window, then the push button start, trailer brakes, tow haul, and 4-wheel drive. In the middle we have 3 USB ports, traction control, heated seats, fan and temperature controls, plus the infotainment system. Double cab trucks come with the smaller center rear slide window instead of the full one like on Crew Max trucks. The back seat of the double cab Tundras have quite a bit more room than the 4-door Tacomas, but this one doesn't have a center armrest. Under the seat has a nice storage compartment. 2014 and newer trucks, the seats fold up. 07 to 13 trucks, the backrest folds down. There's also a little bit of room back behind the storage box. And lastly, there are 2 cup holders in the back seat. Price points vary significantly for these trucks. I've seen them go for anywhere from $8,000 to $50,000 on the used marketplace. And as with anything, you get what you pay for. If I were to go and buy another one of these trucks, I would keep my eye out for a 2014 to 2021 model. By then, they had pretty much all the little problems worked out of them. All the V8 engines are great bulletproof options, but I feel the 5.7 liter engine is the best choice. You get significant power gains, and you really don't sacrifice very much fuel economy compared to the other V8s. I average around 16 miles a gallon, but on the highway, I do see in the low 20s occasionally. Toyota did a great job over the years with these trucks. They kept them simple, but gave them plenty of modern features. It is likely that these are the last dead reliable, built-to-last trucks we'll ever see. And that's why I think that they are the best value in the half-ton truck market. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.